whatever you need. Let me talk about coffee for the next one.
We'll talk about this. 3 Keys to High Performance is not being the mainstream title. That's just kind of the working title I've had. The feedback I got at the retreat was definitely to bring, magnify the through line of creating magic, creating miracles, causing miracles. This 3 keys, my classic 3 keys have been your champion's mindset, nourish your nerves, transform your environment. And Jim had challenged me to break this down into 3 main topics per. So this would be kind of that 9 chapters, so to speak, right?
Yep.
These pink ones here are meant to be a bit of the through line. So where I put these dots underneath the top 3, right? That would be, elaborating some of the bullet points. But engineer, Olympic athlete, former quadriplegic, and suicide survivor. So those would be parts, either stories from my life and then also clients that would be examples, sprinkled through here. The stories are more important, impactful for telling things than just statements and phrases, right?
Right.
And so that, in addition to those 4 identities of me, sort of versions of me, so to speak, there'd also be stories of clients, right? Nourish your nerves. I got stress, the obvious things around nutrition, rest, breathing, hydration, keeping things pretty basic. But part of the feedback I got over the weekend was also to really expand the deeper stuff, the energy work, the magic elements of my healing and how I've been able to be successful in these other endeavors as well. And then the transforming your environment is very overly simplified into these 3 components, but people, places, and things, obviously your relationships, and then, team and expanding out from there. This inner mindset one is, Jim had relocated that up to the top row. Excuse me. And then this 4th green Post-it, kind of along with this 2nd pink Post-it, I think that I feel like that's kind of like the closing chapter, is talking about this theme of truth and fear or courage, telling the truth. And I think that's the lesson and the next step, so to speak, for the reader, is like, how are you going to get support in bringing your best and your highest good, your truth into light, and dealing with the fears and overcoming this, paralysis of your fear and doubt, the prison of your guilt and shame, whatever that stuff, and work with me or work with another coach, but, do something to not have it take you 20 years like it took me. And then this pink one is another thematic element, I think, that can weave through potentially about this secret that I held and the revealing of it. And each chapter, there's some version of that happening where there's something that gets revealed that's deeper. And some of those parts of my story from earlier on, the reveal didn't happen in my own awareness until quite a bit later, let alone me revealing that, publicly, that big, huge secret publicly to the world. All the little things of recognizing the truth to ourselves and the lies we tell ourselves, or the things that we are conveniently blind to.
Correct.
So I think a lot of the benefit of this retreat was to really tighten the focus of this initial book, and to not try to get too much into it. And then again, I'll just, I guess before I switch gears, anything else that you guys would say or comment or question about this?
No, my title is now the byline is how to do the work to create something in your life that other people would consider a miracle. And the headline is either and this is obviously, up for, it's not a definitive, the miracle method or my miracle method. And the reason between those two is that the miracle method is great, but the URL isn't available, and actually it's a refinishing countertop product.
Wow.
But still not a bad title. And my miracle method is more available, but it's a little weird. It's URL-y. So either one. But anyway, that's what came to me.
My miracle method. I really like that, actually.
What I like is how to do the work to create something in your life that other people would consider a miracle. Because when you present the things that you've done, if you say, hey, I couldn't walk and I could walk and now I can, it's like other people say, oh my God, that's a miracle. But in your head, you're like, no, it was a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, you've heard enough conversations with me, yeah.
And that's, you know what I mean?
And yes, there was a miracle. Yeah, I like the way Mother Teresa says it. You must do your work as if everything depends upon you, and only then can you leave the rest to God.
Yeah, but then because you're using the word miracle, it brings in, it infers what the guys at the seminar were talking about, the fact that there's this whole element of spirituality and religion that comes into play, which you don't, you know what I mean? You don't have to be, you can be a God guy without having to be, an evangelist at that point.
Yeah.
But that's the whole concept of, this bridge between faith and reality and hard work and the whole thing. Because everybody knows, everybody gets it. It's like, yeah, it's like the old adage of the overnight sensation that took 10 years to get here. It's an inspiring story at that point. But I like the idea of integrating the miracle concept of, you see it as a miracle, I see it as a lot of work. That element of it really, I just think you could really speak to that well, especially with the Olympic background.